the way Vic Fangio absolutely gutted Andy Reid and that entire Chiefs offense.
I didn't think like that defense. Like where? Okay, the first thing. Where did they get Zach Bond from? The practice squad.
I think he was an edge player for the Saints or something, and then Fangio decided no, he's actually going to be an all-pro off-ball linebacker.
Where this guy Fangio is a genius because I don't know
Yes.
where they found that guy. They literally picked him off of the street. But did you think Fangio's defense was going to be this good against the Chiefs? I didn't think so. I didn't think it was
No,
going
I
to be
didn't.
this good. And
No, I didn't.
they
But
killed.
I think what's so interesting about how he did it. So first of all, shout out Ted Wynn. He's writes for The Athletic, does a great job. I don't know anyone who does a better job, like actually breaking down X's and O's, the chess match of a game in a way that the average layman like me can understand. So shout out to Ted. It's on the Athletic website right now. Basically, what Ted points out is like Fangio broke a tendency. All of a sudden, instead of trying to bring pressure or he just went to quarters coverage, which is 4 deep split safeties. And the way to beat that, it's very vulnerable deep down the middle of the field because the corners on the outside can be isolated easily on posts and stuff like that. But the Chiefs don't have a deep passing game anymore. It's not what they've been doing for years. Well, also, with split safeties, you can run on that because it's not an 8-man box. Yeah. But the Chiefs don't run the ball. No. And so, like, it was just a zone coverage that was told to just sit on all the short stuff, and it did.
What happened to the Chiefs running game, though? Because, like, Isaiah Pacheco, you said he played good. I
liked him a couple years ago, but I don't know what happened to him this year.
A couple years? No, he was fine last year against us. Of course, he was good against us, but this year you couldn't find him.
I think what happened, I'm not a Chiefs expert, but I think their running game is kind of like, it's not something they're committed to. They don't run the ball that much. They throw a lot of screens, which is kind of like an extension of their running game. But their actual run plays, if you look at like what they are with the Niners, it's like a lot of Purdy under center, toss plays with a fullback. That's not really what the Chiefs do. It's a lot of RPOs from the shotgun, right? And so technically, that's like not necessarily a run. It's up to Mahomes. He could hand it off or he could pass it depending on whatever he decides. And a lot of times, if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback who thinks he's the GOAT and is trying to prove it, he's going to decide that it's a pass more often than not.
And I think this happening, I think Fangio kind of released like a blueprint for every NFL team on how to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, no doubt.
To fix the trenches.
And now the Chiefs have to completely change, which is so interesting. Like Travis Kelce, 100%. You're done.
Grant, I told you before the live, there's literally a video of Kelce. All the offensive linemen are already moving, and Kelsey's just still standing there like this. It's like he's doing the mannequin challenge back in 2017. Like,
it's bad.
He's got to retire. He's not even, man, he had like 2 opportunities to easy catch, and he would drop it. Like, he's not good anymore.
He's got to retire. Xavier Worthy looks good. Rashee Rice was good, could be good when he comes back. But to me, what this team needs is a killer running back.
They do.
Because
they don't have one.
Otherwise, teams are just going to do this to you and take away the quick screens and the quick passes and dare you to run the ball.
Grant, knowing the Chiefs, what are the Chiefs going to do? They're going to draft a running back, and then he's going to be the best running back in the league. Because that's what happens with the Chiefs. That's going to happen. Like they're going to draft a running back, and he's going to be elite.
That's the thing. Like the Chiefs won't be in denial. They won't be like, "Oh, we should have won." They'll be like, "That was catastrophic. That can't ever happen again. We need to fundamentally change the structure of our offense because we've been figured out." And that's what I respect about them. I mean, they don't really necessarily have a scheme. They will have a new evolution that'll put them. And again, I don't know who their running back's going to be, but I bet you they draft one in round 1, round 2, or they sign one in free agency.
There's a lot of deep running backs in this draft class. Like there's plenty of running backs for them to Judkins, Scadaboo. Those 2 guys just come off my head right away. Those are 2 guys they can get. They would strive in that Chiefs offense right away.
Just good for Vic Fangio, though. What an all-time great performance. Like he's now a legend, and I don't know if he'll make the Hall of Fame, but
listen, I don't like how the Eagles won. I like how Vic Fangio won, though. I don't like how the Eagles won. I don't like the Eagles. I kind of wish both teams would have lost, but that's not possible. But I'm happy for Vic Fangio. That's the only person I could say I'm kind of happy for.
Because what's cool about it is when we look back on this Super Bowl in 10, 15, 20 years, we'll probably remember Jalen Hurts' performance because it was excellent. But it was the Vic Fangio Super Bowl. it was one of the most dominating defensive performances in a Super Bowl that we've ever seen. I mean, 0 points and about 30 yards late in the third quarter. Never seen anything like that. Especially, it's the Chiefs.
You know how the Niners started off really good last year and Greenlaw got hurt? Do you think this same thing would have happened if Greenlaw would have stayed in the game? Because our defense was on fire.
True.
And Greenlaw went out and it went.
True.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
a lot of
that's a good
people.
question, man.
Yeah, a lot of people, they're like, oh, yeah, the Eagles defense is great. It's like every player matters. I remember when Greenlaw went down, and then I was talking to some of my friends, and they're like, oh, yeah, but you guys still have Fred Warner and all that. But in the Super Bowl,
okay, I have a rebuttal.
Matters.
I have a rebuttal.
Okay.
What I would like to say is that in every Super Bowl, except for the one against the Bucks, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes makes a big late fourth quarter push. He did it in this game. And I think
well, not
once
really.
the pass rush slows down a little bit, which it inevitably does in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden things open up and he shows that he's still great. So I think yes, but also the offense needed to like score those points and take advantage and put the game away in the third quarter when they did.
I honestly don't think that. I think the Eagles kind of just gave up. Like the game was already so out of reach. Or no, because you said the Eagles.
Oh, that's why they gave up in garbage time. That's fair. That's
why.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles, that big toss. The only good throw was that toss to Worthy. When Mahomes threw that long bomb down the field to Worthy, that was a great play. But otherwise, I don't think the Eagles really cared. It's like 8 minutes left. Saquon Barkley smiling on the sideline. The game was already out of reach. It was already over before it was over.
Possible. I'm just saying, like in the Super Bowl when the Niners were there the first time, and they had a great D line with Buckner and Armstead and Ford and Bosa.
Oh,
and they dominated that game. Now they didn't. It wasn't like 0 points, but it was like 10 in the fourth quarter, like late in the fourth, like midway through the fourth quarter, I think the Chiefs had 10
we got that interception, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna win. And
yes, but then your 4-man pass rush just gets tired a little bit, and then all of a sudden they score 21 points in 6 minutes, or they've done it before. So maybe Dre Greenlaw being out there, the Niners win, or maybe they still like you don't want to be in a close game against the Chiefs, and that's one thing that the Eagles made sure it wasn't. We're blowing you out. There's no chance. You can't win a close game against the Chiefs.
If it's a close game against the Chiefs, Mahomes is gonna Mahomes, and you're gonna lose that game. It's a Super Bowl. If that
Taylor Swift will say something to someone, and that's gonna happen. Sorry, to make a call.
If everyone that I knew that they bet the Chiefs comeback. I think everyone did. If that game was closer, I wouldn't have been surprised if Chiefs would have came back and won that freaking game. They're that Eagles did. When no other team did, blow them out, and then Chiefs couldn't come back. They had no chance.
I mean, even at 24-0 late in the second quarter,
it was
when
over.
Mahomes leaks out of the pocket to the right and throws to DeAndre Hopkins, if Hopkins catches that ball, you're thinking they're back in this game. I mean,
49ers should get DeAndre.
Yeah.
It was really good.